All right, let's dive in. Today we're talking about one of the most important missions in any manufacturing plant, becoming a quality guardian. We're going to focus on how we stop those simple, tiny mix-ups that can snowball into total catastrophes. Let's get right to it.
To really get to the heart of this mission, we have to start with a really direct, kind of tough question. What is the one thing, the single biggest failure, that we absolutely, positively cannot let happen?
And the answer is just one word, but it's a powerful one: an escape. This is our worst-case scenario. It's the moment all our defenses have failed and a bad part gets out into the world and ends up in the hands of our customer.
So let's be crystal clear about who the enemy is here. Understanding what an escape really is and, it's truly at stake, that's the very first step to making sure it never happens.
Now, an escape isn't just a part with a crack or some obvious flaw. No, it's way broader than that. It's any part that's incorrect for any reason. It might be defective, sure, but it could also be the wrong version. Or it might just have the wrong label on it. Bottom line, if it's not exactly what the customer is expecting and it walks out our door, that's an escape.
And the consequences? They are huge. We're not just talking about a single customer complaint. An escape kicks off a disastrous chain reaction. You're looking at massive recalls, you're looking at customers who will never trust us again, and you're looking at costs that can literally cripple the entire company. This is the battle we are fighting, every single day.
And this brings us right to our mission statement. You see, this isn't just a job for the quality department. Nope, every single person on the floor is a quality guardian. And the goal isn't just to stop bad parts from getting to the customer, it's to get to zero defects reaching the very next person in line. Quality has to be built in step by step by step.
Okay, so if we're all going to be quality guardians, we have to know what the threat actually looks like, right? And one of the sneakiest, most dangerous ways an escape happens is through a simple mix-up. So let's take a closer look at how to spot them.
This chart here really breaks down the usual suspects. And the craziest part, these mix-ups often happen with perfectly good parts that are just in the wrong place. First up, you've got symmetry errors. Think left-hand versus right-hand parts that look identical at first glance. Then there are orientation errors. Same part, just installed backwards or upside down. Visual similarity is a really tough one. You could have two parts that look exactly the same, like alloy A356 versus C355, but they have totally different critical properties. And finally, there's disposition drift. That's just a fancy way of saying a bad part that should be in the scrap bin somehow drifts over into the good-to-go bin.
And here's a perfect visual of just how easily this can happen. What you're looking at is a tiny mold shift. It's a super small misalignment in the mold that can make a part that looks almost perfect, but it's just off enough to cause that exact left-hand/right-hand confusion we were just talking about. So sneaky.
So where do these mix-ups even come from? Well, the causes are usually surprisingly basic. Things like labeling failures, a missing label, or one you just can't read. Container chaos, an unlabeled bin, or those stray orphaned parts someone leaves on a workbench that the next person just assumes are good to go. The shift change gap is a huge risk. It's so easy for part identity to get lost during a handover. And of course, simple human error, like not taking 2 seconds to compare a part to the master sample.
Okay, so we know the enemy and we know its tactics. Now let's talk about our defense. It's time to arm ourselves, right? Let's go through the Guardian's Prevention Toolkit.
Listen, if you remember one thing, make it this. Your single most powerful weapon against mix-ups is verification. That means always, and I mean always, grabbing that last known good part, the perfect master sample, and doing a direct side-by-side comparison before you start. No guesswork, ever.
The next tool. So what about when we change something, like swapping out a mold? That's when we kick off the safe launch protocol. Think of it as our pre-flight checkup. Step 1, change happens. Step 2, quarantine. The first 5 or 10 parts go straight into the blue hold area, no exceptions. Step 3, verify. Those parts in quarantine get a full 100% inspection, and only then, after they pass with flying colors, do we get to step 4, release. This protocol is like a firewall that stops a new error from infecting a whole production run.
But what if you suspect something has already gone wrong? I mean, prevention is our main goal, for sure, but we also need an emergency plan. And the number one rule is so simple. If you are in doubt, you act.
This is our emergency protocol. It's not a suggestion. The second you even think there might be a mix-up, you follow these 5 steps. First, stop. All movement of that batch freezes, right there. Second, contain. You move the entire lot into the blue quarantine area. Third, you inform. Let your supervisor and the quality lead know immediately. Fourth, record it. And fifth, verify. Nothing, and I mean nothing, moves from that area until a full 100% sort is done. This plan stops an escape dead in its tracks.
So we've covered a ton of ground here. We've talked about the threat, the causes, our defensive tools, and the emergency plan. Now let's just boil all of this down into a simple checklist you can use every single day to be the guardian you need to be.
Here it is, your 5 daily commitments. Ask yourself these questions every day. 1. Did I check my first part against the master sample? 2. Is every single part in this bin the same exact part number? 3. Is my bin colored and labeled correctly? 4. Are there any of those stray orphaned parts lying around my station? And number 5, the most important one of all, if I was even a little bit unsure about anything, did I pull the cord and trigger the reaction plan?
I just want to leave you with this one last thought, because it really says it all. You can have the best, most expensive equipment in the world, but equipment doesn't create quality by itself. Quality is guaranteed by the persistent efforts of operators, by every single quality guardian on the floor, like you, making the right call every single time. That's our mission, and that's how we win.